My 28M wife, 25F, is mad because I can't afford a wedding. TLDR. We were gonna have a wedding that my parents were gonna pay for. They can't anymore due to financial issues. Now she is mad. Just to give some context, my wife and I got married in December 2022. We were supposed to have wedding which my parents were gonna pay for. The wedding was supposed to be in December, however 3 months before, my family had a huge financial crisis and they could not afford to pay for the wedding. I told my wife that we can hold off on getting married until we can have a wedding. She told me that it's okay and that she just wants to marry me. I was so happy because I don't really care about have a wedding. I am pursuing my PhD in Europe while my wife is in a different continent. It's a 3-hour flight, so I got visit when I can. I am trying to save me to have the wedding she wants, but it's nearly impossible because I don't make enough yet to be able to afford it. I don't want to ask my family to pay for it because they are still getting back on their feet. At first, my wife was very supportive, but now she is super passive-aggressive. She keeps sending me TikToks of people's weddings and telling me how her cousins had an amazing wedding and how they got so many gifts. She tells me how her sister's husband took a loan out to be able to pay for their wedding. She gets angry at me and blames me and my family. I want to offer her everything she wants, but I can't. I have to save money for an immigration lawyer to bring her to Europe, a bigger apartment and many other things. I am working so hard so she can be comfortable when she comes here. I hate being away from my family and her, but I'm working for our future. I don't know what to do. I wish we waited to get married until I had enough money to pay for a wedding. She seems so okay with it and so happy, but I should have known. This problem is affecting our relationship. It's been nearly 6 months since we got married and she talks about having a big wedding every day. I have enough stress in my life and the last thing I want to think about is a party. How can I communicate to her that building our future is more important than a wedding? I think her family and friends are having a big influence on her. Social media is also playing a huge role in this. She keeps seeing people having crazy weddings and going on crazy honeymoons. And I feel like she expects that from me. And what is she, herself, doing to earn money to pay for this wedding she wants? Bro, it's not all on you. She needs to step up here too. What exactly is your wife doing to contribute to her dream wedding? I mean, aside from complaining. It seems she was dishonest when she said she just wanted to be married to you. The wedding seems to be more important than your future. I'd tell her to get a job and start saving for the wedding you both can afford. Bro, abandon ship ASAP! Exclamation mark. I forgot to mention this. When we first met, my parents were rich. I'm not though. When COVID hit, things started going downhill. However, I never worked in my parents' business or had any monetary involvement with them. I chose my own path. My parents always suggested to pay for stuff for me. I never accepted it. The one thing I said okay to was the wedding, just because I wanted my wife to be happy. But things got very bad financially for them. I got my degrees as engineer and wanted to pursue my PhD. She admired that in me. She told me that me wanting to be self-made was amazing. Especially since I am the first one in my family to go to college. That's how I got my PhD in Germany. It's hard here, but I'm working hard. And I expected full support from her. But now, I am beginning to rethink some things. She is indicating she isn't financially competent. If she thinks taking on a big old loan for the sake of a party, in the middle of global financial shakiness, is a good idea, ask her if she has a working plan for how that loan is going to get repaid. By whom and how. And what happens in the event of another financial setback of the sort your family just suffered. Most likely the plan is that you just do whatever it takes. And she enjoys the big day, while you take on the years of second and third jobs to pay it off. How can I communicate to her that building our future is more important than a wedding? Quote, I think you might find this impossible. Now, I ain't saying she's a gold digger. She told me that it's okay and that she just wants to marry me. Well, now it's time for her to own her choices. You're a married couple, so the term wedding doesn't really apply. Social media might say otherwise. But this is about basic definition of terms. Marriage celebrations are popular right now. But the focus is a party to celebrate a prior marriage. Anyway, she's not coming across very well here. Also, how long have you been together? The way you describe her, she doesn't come across like a good catch. Maybe try to compromise and talk about planning a delayed honeymoon. Lots of us can't do it right after. I had to wait a year. I'm sorry, but I will be direct. This woman is more in love with the marriage than you. You are staying and work in the same time to bring her in Europe when all she does is being selfish, complaining and rude towards you and family only because she can't show off. Why are you allowing her attitude? She is showing her true nature, my friend, and you better believe her because it's only the beginning. She pretends to want to be with you when actually all she wants is a huge marriage. You must rethink very seriously your relationship with her because her attitude will escalate on other topics. She cares more about having a big party than the fact that she's married to the supposed love of her life. She doesn't understand your financial situation well enough. Or just doesn't care. I've always told myself I would leave a girl immediately if she ever cared more about the price of a wedding ring or the size of a wedding than our love for each other. Why aren't her parents contributing? Oh, poor her. Boo-hoo. I can't believe how shallow some people are. You are working on your PhD, for God's sakes. That is wonderful. You need to focus on that. Not a show-off party that sucks up all your resources and stresses you out. She is entitled. The toxic influence of social media can turn people into envious monsters who are never satisfied with what they have. Oh man. Get an annulment, divorce, whatever, and think yourself lucky. She wants you to spend money that you don't have on a wedding, but isn't willing to spend any herself. She sounds very selfish. One of the biggest reasons for fighting in marriages are because of financial issues. Is your marriage really worth less to her than a wedding? Why would you start off your marriage on such a bad foot by taking out a loan? Seems like she is not mature enough to understand what's really important. You and your wife already had a wedding. You are married. If she is this wound up about a party she just can't live without, you have much bigger problems than planning her dream party. DTMFA. Cut your losses. Divorce the drama queen. And move on. I think she married you for reasons other than love, especially as she lives on another continent. Be very careful. She sounds materialistic. Ask yourself if she is really genuinely interested in you or just a big flash wedding with lots of gifts and having residency in your country. Don't ignore this giant red flag. Since I don't know her and the only thing I know about her is this text, take what I say with a grain of salt. After reading, I feel she's using you to get a visa and money and show off her lifestyle to her peers back in the country. It's not only the wedding. Your whole life will be like this. She will complain your house is not luxurious enough. She will complain her clothes aren't expensive enough or that her sister got a diamond necklace. Why aren't you like her husband? Quote, she will complain your kids' friends get better toys, school, clothes. If her sister's husband is being manipulated into loans and crazy financial nonsense for the sister's fits, Then she will throw that to your face every time she can. She will be like this for every important moment in your life. Because she doesn't want a partner. She doesn't want to be a team. She wants to exploit you for every penny you have for social prestige and clout. I'm sorry. This is the feeling I have. Of course only you know the truth because you're the one that knows her IRL. Maybe consider seeing a couples therapist. I've heard they can be useful IDK. I've seen this behavior before by actual gold diggers, so maybe. That's why I'm biased. Maybe it's only she has self-esteem issues and she needs validation to feel good about herself, and social media made everything 10x worse? Dude, you are the meal ticket and immigration bitch. Eject, eject, eject. As soon as she has her immigration visa, you are screwed. She leave you and take half of everything you have left. If you are already married, you can't have a wedding. You can only have a fancy party. She is being unrealistic and unreasonable. A marriage is more important than a big, splashy wedding. But she doesn't seem to be doing much to make your marriage a success. I don't think this bodes well for your relationship. But perhaps, if you manage to communicate with her, you can suggest a magnificent vow renewal when you reach your 10th anniversary, by which time you will either be able to afford it, or you'll be divorced. There are people who prefer to save money on a wedding to be able to go on a honeymoon to many countries or have a more interesting honeymoon or even to buy a house. And that it's okay. In this life we have to prioritize some things over others because that is maturity. If she wants a beautiful wedding, why don't she or her family pay for it? A wedding is a matter of two. You need to have a clear conversation with her, and she needs to be understanding about your situation. The fact that she's so passive-aggressive about it irks me. I want a big wedding too, but I'm not going to demand one from my partner. If it's something I really want, I'm going to have to scrimp and save for it. My dream wedding is to get married in France or Italy. I had a dream about it once, and so I think that's what I want. But it's simply unobtainable for my budget. So that's what it is. Realistically, it's just a dream. There were some other components in my dream. In my dream I welcomed a teenage girl. I don't have daughters, but my boyfriend does. I think in that dream that I had years ago, I saw his daughter. It sounds crazy, but I like the idea. So the essence of the dream isn't a wedding, a party. It is truly about family. I think your wife needs some therapy. Scrolling through TikTok and watching other people's filtered, edited videos of their expensive weddings just isn't healthy. You need to tell her to stop sending you TikToks because you're no longer even entertaining them. Therapy. She needs someone to tell her she's being a brat.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.